guys, we're back
Hey!
with our third episode of Real Major Breakdowns. Today's going to be a
Real
little
major breakdowns.
exciting. We have a maybe short, but we're very excited. Oh, you know what we need to? Sorry, I'll keep going. So we're going to talk about Speak Now and our.
Should we do a sidebar and stop?
Oh no, it's okay. I'll do sidebar after.
Okay.
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 So we're going to talk about, because we had the announcement, obviously, and so we're going to talk about our expectations and hopes for Taylor's version.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the sidebar, is that we need to talk about where we were and what it was like to see the announcement.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So maybe we should just start with that. What were you doing?
Okay. I was laying in bed because I'm old, and I was in bed by like 10 p.m. because I'm old. Mm-hmm. And I was on my phone, and I was just on Instagram scrolling, and I saw that Taylor Nation went live. And then I was like, that's weird. They never go live. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, something must be happening. So then I clicked on it, and I watched the announcement happen. And then I immediately text you. And then I text your husband and said, where the is Whitney?
Yeah.
Because this is happening. This is monumental. Where is she? She's not responding to my texts.
Yes.
And yeah. And so where were you?
So where I was at a bridal shower, and I was actually in the car talking to Josh at the time that this happened, because I remember, because while I was on the phone with him, I heard my phone dinging with like a bunch of texts, and I was like, who's texting me so much? And so then I got...
Oh, that must be Jenny. Just kidding.
So then I got home, and Josh was like, so then I was just still talking to Josh, and he's probably like finding me. He's like, you need to stop talking so I can tell you something, but he didn't interrupt me. So then when I finally stopped talking, he's like, so Jenny is like wondering where you're at. I guess Speak Now dropped. And I'm like, what? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, it did not. And then I look at my phone, and there's a bunch of texts from Jenny, and I'm like, it's real. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's happening. And then I watched the video, and I teared up a little bit because it was awesome. And I wish I was at that concert.
I know, right? Nashville. You seriously got an amazing
yeah, that would have
time
been
there.
Awesome. I just barely watched a video of actually the people outside the stadium reacting to. I'm like, oh, that would have been cool too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I love all those Swifties that are going down there.
I know. That's awesome.
And I'm like, I wish I lived close to a city where like I could just go do that, because that would have been so much fun just to go do.
It would have.
Anyway, again.
Yes.
But not that we weren't at the actual
crazy.
concerts.
It's crazy how many people are there just outside.
Mm-hmm. They're showing up, and those are the true fans, because like they didn't get tickets. They some of them couldn't afford how much they were, you know, but they're still showing up for Taylor Swift, which I think is so cool.
It is
really awesome.
Yeah. So we are so excited. Which I'm kind of surprised how excited I am, because Speak Now wasn't really my favorite album, but I feel like it's becoming higher up on my list. Just the way
I feel like...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just the way that it's become, like, the meanings of it have changed. Like, there's a lot of songs that's like mean different things now. Like, mean means more to me now. Long live means more to me now. Just like seeing all the things she's been through and where she's at now.
Yeah, and I think too that like Speak Now, for me, it was one of those albums that I only listened to because you listened to it, if that made sense. Because like I really wasn't into Taylor Swift at that point. I think I didn't really get into Taylor Swift until it was like Reputation era. That's when I totally got into her.
Oh, I
think that's when I was like, realized I was like, you know what, I really like her, and it was that one. And then from there on, I started really liking her, but I did like her songs. It wasn't like I didn't like them. You just weren't that
into Taylor herself.
I just wasn't into it. Gotcha. But I also was in a different genre mood.
Yeah, that's true. So, you were into like alternative music.
Indie, that type stuff. Yeah. So, and then it took me a while to come around, but glad I came around.
Me too.
But I always had fun going to the concerts with you.
Yeah.
So.
Our concerts are always fun.
Yeah, they're seriously the best. So.
Okay, so we thought we'd just talk about the songs, each song, I guess. Oh, well, or should we just talk about kind of what we're hoping for first?
I think I think we should just talk about like what our hopes are for the songs, or if we think she's going to do anything different.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, like I think with most of her songs on this album, she's going to have more of a mature voice, but that's just
Yeah.
when she's recording them.
Yeah, and I feel like you'll notice it more now versus on Red, because Red was later and then Speak Now was before it, but I think we'll really notice it on debut for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You could notice it on Fearless too. You could notice that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that one too, because that one she still had a really young voice, and I feel like Speak Now came out like right after that. She was just like pumping out album after album.
Mm-hmm.
And so Speak Now, I was listening to it a little bit the other day, and I just couldn't believe how young her voice sounds. Yeah. So it's going to have that much more mature sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I think, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe an obvious thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay, so let's just talk about each song and kind of what we expect, or if there's anything we expect. So
yeah.
So with mine, I don't really expect anything too different. I feel like it'll be just like a standard re-recording.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to really change on that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be about the same.
Yeah, I feel like so Sparks Fly, I do have some thoughts. I feel like she'll do a standard recording, and then I'm really hoping, I don't know if this will happen, but I really hope that she does another version of it where it's the original version. There's like, so there was this original version that she sang somewhere, and I found it on YouTube like forever ago, and I loved it. And it has different lyrics, and it has kind of a different sound because it has kind of a banjo in it that's like really bouncy. It's like down, 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 and I really love the sound of that. And with the drums, the way the drums were on it. Anyway, I really hope she gives us that version because I loved it. And when she announced, when like the original announcement of Speak Now, she told us that she was going to put Sparks Fly on. And I was so excited, but I was a little disappointed when it was a different version. So we'll see. I hope it's we get the original version.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a little more dramatic in my head, just because of the whole drop everything now with her albums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that whole thing is going to be a little more played out, more musically, more drums, that type of thing.
I would love that.
That's my thought with it.
Yeah.
But I think other than that, it's going to be pretty much similar or the same.
Yeah, I think so too. And then, I think Back to December and Speak Now will be, but what if? So Taylor Lautner has been doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wonder if he's going to collaborate with her on any of these songs, particularly maybe Back to December or maybe Haunted. So that will be interesting to see if he's on any of that. But he doesn't sing, though. Does he? So he might not.
I think it's going to be about the same.
Yeah.
I don't think that anything.
Oh, maybe he'll be in a video though. Maybe he'll be in a music video.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun to see him.
Yeah, because I'm really hoping for a video for Enchanted. So maybe he would be in that video. That would be fun.
I know that would be. But Enchanted wasn't written about him. It was written about the guy from Owl City, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but I just wonder because I just feel like he's been commenting on it, and so it just makes me feel like he might be involved in some way. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love how he's embracing that whole thing. I think it's awesome.
So cute.
Yeah.
And I love. Did you know that his wife, her favorite album is Speak Now?
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Awesome. She's like a huge Taylor Swift fan. His wife is.
Yeah, that's Joe Jonas too, who's also on this album. But Sophie Turner, her favorite artist is Taylor Swift. And she just loves her. And she's like ride or die Taylor Swift. And so it's really funny because they've made TikToks about it too. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious. But I love how they play into it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if he's in a video or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Speak Now, I feel like is going to be pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't do anything different with it when she played it at the concert.
No.
So
it was pretty much the same, except it was just acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Dear John, which I'm
Oh, dear
excited
John.
for. I'm hoping that because I didn't really care for Dear John until we saw it live because she did
Mm-hmm.
the huge drums and all the fireworks were going off behind her at the end of that bridge. And so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of hope she does like a big thing with it, kind of
Yeah.
bigger than it is, because I loved that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's going to bring in more like drums, instruments into it. I heard at one point that she was thinking that she's going to collaborate with John Mayer, which would shock me
Yeah.
because of her would have, could have, should have
Right,
song.
right. I think that that was going around before would have, could have, should have came out. And
Yes,
so now
yeah.
that that's come out, I'm like, there's no way.
And
Yeah.
there's, I think she's still too like hurt by
Yeah. Well,
him
and
and stuff.
I feel like Dear John takes on new meaning because of that song too.
Yeah,
It
yeah. No, I
gives it more
agree.
depth, and I think that I like realize how mature she was at the time to see the
Mhm.
situation the way she did after,
Mhm.
versus how she sees it now. It's just like, wow, that like really impacted her. I didn't realize at the time.
Well, did you see the thing where she released this is maybe a sidebar, but did you see that she released the woulda coulda shoulda as the 19th track, which is the age she was
Yes.
when Speak Now came out.
Yes.
And then also she released it when she was 34, which is
Yeah.
the age John Mayer was, which is like
Yeah.
crazy to think about, like that
Uh-huh.
situation when you're
Mhm.
19 and you're dating this 34-year-old and he just totally takes advantage of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I really want to know more of that
I
story.
know, right? Oh, it's
Yeah.
so. I feel like Dear John almost became darker to me when Would Have, Could Have, Should Have came out.
Mhm.
It's like, whoa, it's like a real situation that she went through, and I just didn't realize it at the time. And so, anyway, I love Would Have, Could Have, Should Have, and I
Well,
liked Dear John way more now than I did.
well, I think too at this age that we are, like we're not 19 when the album came out, right? I think I was in my
Yeah.
20s and you
Yes.
were like 19.
Uh huh.
So like being in that relation, like being that age too and being more
Yes.
mature and looking back at it, like I
Yes.
remember when she released it and I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, she's just playing another song about John Mayer or
Right.
whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He just burned her. I didn't like really think of the situation. But now, like looking back, it's like if I had a kid that was 19 and this would have happened,
Yes.
like
Yes.
you kind of look back at it with that
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be really good, and I'm wondering if she's going to change some of the lyrics in that one too.
I wonder too. Yeah, that would be interesting.
So I don't know. I just really want a her tell-all book to come out,
Oh
and
my
then we
gosh.
know
Oh,
all
I would
about
die if she
everything.
finally gave us a
So
memoir.
I know,
That would be
for real.
crazy.
Yeah. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Yep. So next is Mean, which I like that
Yeah.
one more now too than I did then. I remember when
Mhm.
this song came out, I was like, Mean? I was like, that's such a silly way to come back at somebody. You're mean.
Yeah.
Like that's how
Well,
I
I
thought
thought it
of
was
it.
really childish.
Yeah.
Like being the age she is, I thought it was like a really childish word to use. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Like it was so like so innocent, I guess. It wasn't a very harsh word
yeah.
for coming
Hmm.
at your critics. It just seemed kind of silly. But
Yes.
I don't know, like looking at it now, I think it's grown on me a lot. And just
Hmm.
like when you look at the other words in the song, like one day I'll be sitting in a big or living in a big old city and you'll just be mean. And I don't know, it's just crazy because now she's like the biggest star ever, and she just
Hmm.
knew it back then. And
Yeah.
it's almost like back then I thought it was silly to call them mean, but now when I look at it, it's almost like a more mature approach than going down and like snapping. Does that make sense? Like kind
Hmm.
of snapping back
Yeah.
childishly would have been like a harsher term, I guess, but she was just going with the
Hmm.
term that she really felt they were just being mean, and so she just used the word that felt right, I guess. I don't
Well, I
know.
think. Well, I think too. No matter how she would have clapped back at that critic, either way she was going to get hate for it. So like,
Yeah.
So you can either do it as a mature approach, or you could do it as like calling, them every swear word in the book.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Right.
like, I feel like just calling a mean like that really cuts you to the core because that just shows you're not kind.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I think too when the video came out, I liked it a little more
Hmm.
too. I loved the video. It was so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it
So,
too. Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like, I mean, we'll get to this, but I feel like Better Than Revenge is almost like more like harsher in the way that I would have wanted
Hmm.
Mean to be back at the time. But now I look at
Yeah.
Better Than Revenge as the immature song and Mean as more mature, if that makes
Yeah. That's
sense, you know?
interesting. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think I wanted
Yeah.
from Mean, I wanted it to be harsher and like just like
Hmm.
go to that immature place and but
More
that better
cutthroat
yes,
and.
and Better Than Revenge did that, and now that I look at it 10, 15
Hmm.
years later, it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't so good.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
which we'll get to
we'll
on
get
that
there.
one. Yeah. So,
Okay, so next is Story of Us.
I love this song.
Me
I'm
too.
actually I'm actually kind of excited to hear
Yeah,
this song, how she's
her
going to redo it, but I really don't think she's going to change much on it.
I don't think she is either. It's just a great song the way it is.
It is a really good song.
Yeah.
So,
Don't have much more to say
but
about that. It's just a good
yeah, I
song.
don't either. Yeah, it's just a good song.
Yeah.
Watch the
And the
music
video's
video. I like the
fun.
music video. It's
Yeah.
cute.
hmm
Hmm.
Okay, so then we have Never Grow Up, which is okay. I still think that song's just okay. I've never
Yeah,
really been
it's not
into
my
it.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see her doing
So,
anything different with it either.
I haven't either. I
So,
don't think so.
yeah.
But
So that brings us to Enchanted, which is my favorite song
hmm
on the album. And
mine
yeah,
too.
and I'm really hoping that we get kind of an All Too Well 10 again
Hmm.
with this song. I hope that we get a video and like a bunch of like more hype around it, cuz I feel like that
Hmm.
song should have been a single. It's such a great
Yeah.
song, and so I'm hoping it gets
Didn't
its
she?
moment now.
Well, didn't she say that it was going to be a single, and then her record company said like something like, "Don't do that."
I think
Like
she
I heard something
was
like that,
I think she was
or is
going to
that
name
my?
the album Enchanted.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
But then they said no, you need to do Speak Now. Like that's going to
Yeah,
be more of a single. But really, like I feel like Enchanted is a better
I agree.
single. It should have been put out
I
than
agree.
Mine and Speak Now and all of those
Yes,
songs.
yes, I agree. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are going to like what I'm about to say, but I don't think Mine should have been a single. I really wasn't into
Mm-mm.
Mine, and I'm still not into Mine. I feel like
Yeah.
Enchanted should have taken its place.
I liked though when she played that one live. Did you watch that performance when it was one of the surprise songs
I didn't.
with
Mm-mm.
mine?
Mm-mm.
So she started talking about how this album basically kind of was, so before she hit folklore, she kind of started writing these like fictionalized like life stories of like what she thinks the future is going to be like, and just different things like stories in her head. And so mine was kind of that story of, oh, this is what's going to happen when I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
And that's her perspective as it was 19. And she said that it was interesting because now she's had some of these experiences happen to her, and
Right.
looking back and re-recording them. So I thought that was really interesting because I just kind of imagine that one is about like her and Joe's relationship, like mine was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of interesting to think about the album because I think at the time, well, I mean, I still think some of the songs were what she was going through, but I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the songs were more like, I think she said something about them all being more fantasies and things that she had imagined. I think she
Yeah.
said that about Speak Now specifically. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of interesting to think that about some of the songs just being fantasies.
Yeah. And I think mine was one of those, but I thought it was like, for some reason when I first listened to it, I thought it was like that was her reality. Like
Yeah.
that's what she was
Mhm.
thinking. Because she was like this mature 19-year-old,
Right.
and then she was in these relationships with guys and stuff like that. And so I thought I thought in my head that was actually real life.
Mm-hmm.
But then now that she talks about it, it's like, oh yeah, that does make more sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
My perception of it was not right, but anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
So
but
hopefully we get a big moment with Enchanted.
yes, I
But we'll
want
see.
something big. I want it huge. I want it
I do too.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of her costume changes during the concert,
Yes.
of all the different dresses, just even
Yes.
seeing all those beautiful dresses. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Okay,
yeah.
so now we're at the big one, Better Than Revenge, which is the
Better than
big
revenge.
question mark on all Swifties' minds, what she's going to do with it.
Because it's not very feminist of a song. It's not.
Yes.
I don't know if that was even good wording right there, but there you go.
So, what's her name? The Thrifty Swifty. I was watching a TikTok the other day of her talking about this, and I really liked her theory. So
Yeah.
she did you watch it?
I watched that one too.
Oh, did you?
But keep going.
Yeah. So what she said. Yeah. So what she said was that she thinks that she'll do like a regular re-recording of Better Than Revenge because there's so many people who do still like it. But then she thinks or hopes, I guess, that she'll do another version of Better Than Revenge where she just changes a few words or pronouns and maybe some of the chorus to make the song more about her re-recording process and that her revenge is re-recording these albums. So I think that would be really cool. It would really strengthen the song.
So I think that she won't. I think she's just going to change the song. Like, really? I don't think she's going to do the original one because that's not who she is now when she's re-recording the songs.
Yeah.
And so to me, she's not, I don't know, she's not against this girl anymore. It really was the guy in the situation. Right. And so I think that she's going to switch it up. And then I also think she's going to twist it, like she was saying, and do it as more that, like, it's more against men than women, if that makes sense. Like, about her albums and stuff.
I think that would make it really powerful to kind of make it more about the real issue instead of just about individual women that are just in the system.
Yeah, no, and I think that she will also, so she was caught filming that music video in London.
Oh, right.
And they were linking it back to how she's like stealing back her work, which I think that either, and everyone was speculating it was vigilante shit, but I don't think it's vigilante shit. They think it's Better Than Revenge. Now, this is all from Thrifty Swifty too. But it looked like she was like stealing her work back. And so they think that this is like all about Better Than Revenge. And then she's switching it to
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That would
no,
be
I thought
so
it was
cool.
awesome.
I hope that's right.
Yes, I hope so too.
Love that.
But that's why I think she's not going to record that album. Like, I don't think she's going to do an old one. I think she's going to just completely switch it up. That's my theory.
I wonder. Yeah.
Because like how she switched that line in Fearless that you showed me the other day, was she worth it?
Yeah.
Or something like that, or whatever. And she switched the words. I think she's just going to do that again.
Yeah, she might. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because that's not what she stands for right now. Yes. That's what I think. I know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Because
we'll definitely have to be doing. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
We're gonna have to do a reaction video to
sure.
her album.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. Okay, so that brings us to Innocent. What do we think about
Innocent?
This? Still not a fan of.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I think that nothing's going to really change on this one. I think that it's just still, but I wonder if she'll switch this one too, or maybe a few words here or there.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because of the whole,
there's
like,
been
talking about Kanye West, but then there's other people too that are, it's not just Kanye. It's like, you have Scooter Braun in it now and stuff like that. So she may just change it to kind of a general people.
Yeah. Well,
and not just one specific person.
I kind of wonder because I almost feel like she was making fun of herself with this song, with This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Because in that song, she's like, and here's to forgiveness, because it's a nice thing to do. And then she laughs at herself. and like I can't
Yeah.
do it. And so I almost wonder if that song, This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, is kind of making fun of her perspective in this song, because she was so
Yes.
quick to offer forgiveness, and I almost feel like she's making fun of her naivete in this song. So
Mhm.
I'm just kind of curious what she'll do with it, but I feel like if she does anything, it'll just be a few switches.
Well, I feel like a lot of people too were anticipating at the time, because that's when Kanye came up on stage, right? Took that award for, like, said Beyonce was basically the greatest. Taylor Swift sucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that there's going to be all of this backlash, or I think that at that time she was, everyone wanted a response from her, and everyone expected a response in a song
Right.
to the situation and stuff like
Right.
that. I think she could have done more justice in a different song. Like, This Is Why We Can't Do Nice, or This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things is seriously the best, but she had so much time to write that
Yeah. And so
versus
many
Innocent.
years. Mm-hmm.
And so many years between the incident of what happened with
Yeah.
the snakes and everything. So I
Yeah.
think that this one could have been better,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
For
still
her
good.
time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But for her time at that time, but I think she could have came up with something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Haunted.
I like Haunted. I know that
Yeah,
you have
I've
a lot
never
of
been a
opinions about
fan.
Haunted. I love Haunted. And I think that it's going to be just the same. I think it's going to be,
Yeah, I
the
hope so
intro is going to
too.
be exactly the same, very dramatic. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I really like Haunted.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, and then I think Last Kiss, I think similar. It'll just be a regular old
Hmm.
re-recording.
Yeah. Which that she makes a reference to June 9th in that song.
Yeah, which everybody thinks
Or
that's
July 9th? July
yeah,
9th.
yeah, and that's what everybody thinks the reference in her caption was this song. But then they also
Mm-hmm.
think that July 9th she's going to drop this mysterious memoir, which I feel like that theory came out of nowhere. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's only there's a few supporting evidences, but I don't know if I believe it. I'm scared to believe it. I want it to be true so bad.
I This is the thing, is if she was going to release a book, and this is my theory, and I feel like a lot of people go off the wall because she leads Easter eggs. I think she
Right.
leads Easter eggs, but she still has to do PR for it.
Right.
Like, she still has to promote it. Like, this one, it wasn't like she just released it. And
Yeah.
she hasn't ever done that with her albums except for
Folklore
Evermore
and
and
Evermore.
Folklore.
Mm-hmm.
Those were like the
Which,
only two.
yeah, and I really don't see her doing not a lot promotion for a book. Like a book would be
Yes.
so huge for her. How could she just
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh, and my book's coming out in 2 days."
Yeah,
you know.
everybody get it.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even released it. Like, no, she's going to do this months in advance. Like,
Yeah.
you still have a team behind everything, her music, everything she's re-releasing
Yeah.
that she doesn't own the rights to. Like, she
Mhm.
still needs to have PR for it. Like, she's releasing
Yeah.
all of her albums, she has to do pre-orders. Like, it's not just going
Mhm.
to drop. I'm
Right.
sorry if that's going to ruffle feathers with the Swifties, but I just
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen. Even though
Yeah.
I want it to happen,
I would love it.
selfishly, I want it to happen. I would love
Yeah.
it. I would go get that book. Like, yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I
But
don't either.
anyway, back to Last Kiss.
Yes.
I think it's going to be the same, though.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think
And
much is going to change.
yeah. Okay, and then the last song is Long Live,
Oh, Long
which
Live is
I
cute.
know, right? And I feel like it's become a fan, like a bigger song as the years have gone by for
Hmm.
fans. And I almost wonder, I feel like it'll be a regular re recording, but I kind of
Yeah.
wonder if once she releases it, if she'll sing it on tour, like in a big way, not just a surprise song, but like an actual performance of it
Well, I
in
wonder
some
if
way.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll add it in, because like into the Speak Now, because now she owns all of her
Right.
albums, right?
Right.
Because it really shocked me there was only one song from Speak Now, and
Me
there's so many
too.
good songs off that album.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she'll add stuff, because like she did with Phoebe Bridgers with the Nothing New. She added
Oh,
that one into the Red
right.
set. So it's
Right.
like, who's to say she won't add that one into
Uh-huh.
that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think after July, the people that got tickets for after July 7th, they're definitely going to see a shift in the Speak
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, it'll be
time
interesting.
area.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
So, but I wouldn't be shocked if Long Live's one of them.
yeah. Okay, so that's the album. We weren't going to talk about bonus tracks because we're going to do a separate episode about bonus tracks, all of her bonus tracks.
Yep.
So we'll talk about those at another time.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of our thoughts, hopes, expectations for Taylor's version of Speak Now.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, put it in the comments.
Yeah, anything
Subscribe,
you want to hear.
like to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
do that.
We would love it, and give us ideas of what you want to hear.
Yeah. We're open to anything. So
yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Until next time.
Until next time. See you guys. Bye.